is we're gonna melt our butter and the milk. Come this way.
We're starting with 3/4 cup of milk and 1/3 cup of soft butter.
Do we need it to be all yellow? We need all the butter to melt. We're storing this on medium-low heat. Don't stop stirring or your milk will burn.
We're adding our dough hook and we're mixing our dry ingredients together. We're mixing our dry ingredients together now because this prevents overmixing later. Overmixing causes too much gluten to form in your dough, making your dough tough. In our mixing bowl, we've already measured out 2 teaspoons of instant active dry yeast, 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2 1/4 cups of flour. This recipe calls for 3 1/4 cups of flour. We're setting 1 cup of that flour aside for later. Ready?
Yes.
Amen. Once our dry ingredients are mixed, we add 1 egg and 1 1/4 cup of water. We continue mixing until just combined. Now it's time to grab our milk and butter mixture from earlier. We want to make sure the temperature of our milk is between 100 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. This is just hot enough to activate the yeast, but not too hot that it's going to kill our yeast. Once our milk and butter is incorporated, Declan adds our last cup of flour. We mix this until our dough is smooth. However, I felt like our dough was just a little bit too sticky. When you're using a dough that you have to roll out and work with, you want it to be easy to work with. The recipe didn't call for it, but I decided to add a little bit more flour. This ended up being about a 1/2 cup. That's starting to look better. How's it look?
Not good yet.
Not good yet.
Can I lift it?
Does it feel sticky or dry?
Sticky.
But did it stick to your fingers or did your finger come out clean?
Come out.
Yeah, so
Came
that's
out
what we want.
clean.
Okay, just till it's smooth.
Although it's not sticky and smooth. We're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes.
We're gonna put some flour down on our work area. We have our dough here, it's been resting for 10 minutes. We're just going to dump this right out onto our work area. Give it a knead or two, make sure it feels nice and smooth.
I want to help doing that.
You are gonna help. And then we're gonna roll this into a log.
It feels nice and soft.
Feels nice and soft, Declan?
Mm-hmm.
So we have our dough. Guys, we're gonna work together on this. We're gonna roll this dough out into a rectangle. The reason I like to roll it into a little log first is it does help start your shape. One time in school when we were making pizza, our chef told us if it's not round, it won't be round. Meaning if you don't start with a round piece of dough for your pizza, you're not gonna get a round pizza. Same applies here. If you start with an obtuse, oblong, if you start with a weird shape, you're not gonna get a rectangle.
Let's do the rectangle.
Ready? Roll. Okay. Good job.
How's that?
My turn.
A little too long? Mom?
No, we want it even bigger. So this is going to be a 9 by 15 approximately rectangle. We have a 9 by 13 pan. Every once in a while you just take your pan and see if you're about in the right place. So we're definitely probably around 15 by 9, honestly. I like to do things my own way, so I'm going to go a little bit bigger. I think that a little bit thinner to get all that filling into our dough. Gentle. See how I was doing it gentle? I'd rather just have more layers than, you know, a big thick layer of filling in the middle. So this looks pretty good to me. I feel like a 1/4 inch thickness is where we want to be. We have a can of strawberry filling. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna dump this right onto our dough. In the future, I'd probably make my own filling with fresh strawberries, cooking them down over the stove with some sugar, cornstarch, and spices. Using the can is a lot easier and it tastes fine, but fresh strawberries taste better. Don't lick, Brad. Pretend that licking is the dark side and you're Yoda. Lick you must not. Keep hands clean you must do. Are you licking, Brad? Go wash your hands. After our strawberries are spread out and we have a nice rim around the edges, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to shake our cinnamon sugar on. Gently, Brad. We're gonna use a little bit of an egg and water wash to seal our edges. You should use a pastry brush to do this. We don't have one here, so I'm gonna use my fingers. So I'm just gonna dip in and I'm gonna brush. No, Mommy's gonna do this part. We're gonna brush right along the edges. Ideally, we should have kept this edge nice and clean. There is a little cinnamon here. This is gonna help your dough stick to itself and it's gonna give you a better seal so that your fillings don't come oozing out. Now we're gonna roll this up, okay? We can work together gently and slowly. Mommy's gonna start and then we can all do it together. I'm just gonna start lifting these edges. I'm gonna, hold on guys, I'm gonna gently get a first turn on itself. Okay, now we can all work together. Work together slow, slow and slow. Slow, slow, slow. Okay, I'm gonna scoop in a little. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lift this. It's not okay if you touch right now.
I'm not.
And I'm gonna fold it over.
Whoa, that's really messy.
It is messy.
It's coming apart.
It's definitely coming apart. This is what our egg wash was supposed to be for, but we have a dirty surface now. That's okay. We're gonna do our best to pinch this dough together. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Okay. We're gonna smush our edges together so that we have filling all the way through. We're gonna cut this in 12 pieces. All right, so our cinnamon rolls are not quite as rolled as what I would like, but this is not bake in Chef's Kitchen. This is bake with Mom. So all we're gonna do now is take these and we're gonna cut this into 12 pieces with a bench scrape. Once you have these cut into 12 pieces, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna place them into a greased 9x13 casserole pan. I'm gonna just gently reshape them a little bit as I place them in. We're gonna cheat with this spiral a little bit, fold them in half, since we didn't get it the first time round. At this point in the bake, I was fighting my disappointment. I love to do things perfectly, but the truth is you won't get things perfect every time, especially when you're baking with kids, and especially when you decide to film yourself doing it. Did I want to present a perfectly rolled out cinnamon roll? Sure. But would I rather set an example to my boys to always do your best, practice humility, take chances? Absolutely. We let these rolls rise for about 30 minutes. My favorite trick when trying to rise dough is to set my oven to the lowest temperature. Then turn it off. Your rolls will rise quickly in a nice warm oven about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. After the rolls had risen, we baked them at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 30 minutes, just until the tops were a nice golden brown.
Our cinnamon rolls are out of the oven. Now it's time for frosting.
Here we go.
That's not mine.
This lemon cream cheese frosting couldn't be easier to make. The recipe is included in the description along with the full recipe for the cinnamon rolls. Frost and serve these up warm. We hope you give them a try at home.
Thanks for watching.